Right. So good morning, all of you. So let's continue today. The concept is going to be, uh,
Good morning, sir.
margins and paddings. Today's concept is margins and paddings. After these are completed, we will go for other properties like backgrounds. A lot of things are there. Based on the time, we will continue the same thing. Okay, right. So what is margin? What is padding? Last session, I think you already discussed about there is a concept called borders and border radius. This is a concept we discussed. Border radius. This is a concept we've seen. And borders, top border, bottom border, left border, right border, curving borders. How can we bring the curving borders? All we seen in the last session. Now, what is a margin? What a margin will do? Margin also having some properties. And but one thing, if you can understand margin, you will understand paddings very easily. I mean, same rule and regulations will follow the margin and padding. Only thing, how margin work, how padding work. If you can understand, this is enough. Okay. I think in the last session somewhere, I think I discussed a table. In the table, we have cell padding, cell spacing. I believe users, yeah, can you see this thing? We use something called cell padding. If you can write padding, what is happening? So just padding means what is happening. Spacing means what is happening. We've seen already. So if you can run this file also, maybe you will understand what is spacing, what is padding. Can you see? So now you can understand I'm increasing the spacing value 20. If you can increase the spacing value 20, can you observe the table? Can you see space between the every cell, space between the every cell. Now, if you can and decrease this value, this is what is going to be happen. Space is reduced. Now you can go and increase this value 0, cell padding 0. Inside the cell, observe, inside the cell, there is no gap. Top, bottom, left, right, you see no gap. Now, if you can write this value to 20, inside the cell, please observe this carefully. Inside the cell, you are getting more gap. Just see, earlier there is no gap, top and bottom. Now you are getting a decent gap between the top and bottom. And not only in this, every cell also you observe, top and bottom, you're having some proper gap here, right? So this is the same thing. So if you can understand this, now we can come here now. Margin means what you know. By using margin properties, we can provide space between the elements. By using margin property, we can provide space between the elements. Space between the elements. Of course, same thing if you can come for padding, what it is going to be, right? By using padding property, what we can do, padding property, we can provide space inside the element, space inside, space outside. Inside, outside, simply says space inside the element or space outside or between the elements. Two elements are there. They're attached together. I want to provide some space between the elements. How to provide the space between the elements? Yes, this way we can provide the space between the elements. By using margin property, we can provide space between the elements. By using padding property, we can provide space inside the elements, right? Gap between, gap inside, whatever the words it may be. Remember this carefully. Okay, now how can I do this? You want to space on top. Okay, you have a property called margin top. Margin top is a property. Margin right, you want to provide any gap. Margin right is a property. Margin left, margin bottom. So in pixels, we will write something called in pixels, margin bottom. What is the gap? 10 pixels I want to. Margin bottom. Left also 10 pixels, 10 pixels. Right side also 10 pixels. Observe this carefully. Right side also 10 pixels and top also 10 pixels. Can you see all four sides same gap? All four sides, top to right to left to bottom same gap. Then why should I write four properties? Is any simple shortcut? Okay, in one line I want to add the gap. If all four sides, if you are thinking that all four sides the same gap means you can write this is shorthand property for the above four. Simply shorthand we will write margin 10 pixels. That's all. See how easy this is. So if four sides four different values are, then you write like this: 20 margin top 20, margin bottom 40, margin left 50, margin right some other value. Then you write like this. But if you think that all four sides same value, why should you write four times margin, margin, margin? Let us write a shorthand property called this is. Okay, write this also. Quickly write it. Possible, write it. Possible, write this. So online people and classroom people, if I'm saying something to write, please write them in your notebook. Maybe it will be helpful to you to refer it. So you have to follow the running notes only, and we don't want to provide you any notes. If you want, you can write these points. If I say something to write, please write it. It will be important for interviews, right? So next case. Let's come here now. I want to show you one more situation. This situation one completed. So what is another situation? But you observe this time, all of you see this carefully. Margin top 40, margin bottom 40. What is common? Tell me. What is common in this situation? What is common in this situation? Yeah, please.
Right and left.
Top bottom 40, right left 10. Ante right side same, left side same. And top and bottom same. Left right same, top bottom same. So we can write like this. Otherwise, what is the shorthand here? So simply if you want to do this, margin 40 pixels and space 10 pixels. What is the meaning of it? You know, the first value will always apply on top bottom. The second value will apply always on left right or right left, whatever it is going to be. See, sometimes people will write like this. Why should I write like this? Unnecessary. Okay, no? Right. So either you write this way, if you are flexible with it, you can write it. Why should I write 4 lines of code? That too same value. So then you can go for this. That's why I'm telling you from starting onwards, as much as possible, we have to reduce the number of lines of code. We have to reduce the number of lines of code. That's why in place of these 4 lines, we can write yesterday border also. 12 properties, you have to write it if you don't know properly. Border 1 pixel, color, some solid. Right? That is shorthand. If that is not, if you are not using the shorthand, you have to write 12 properties. 12 properties, you have to write. All 4 sides that too. Now the same thing if you can write here, another situation. Can you see? Now anybody, you tell me this situation. The second situation is going to be all 4 sides different value. All 4 sides different value. Then 40, this is going to be 80. This is going to be left 60. This is going to be 90. 4 different values. All 4 are different value. Then how is there any shortcut for this? What is the shortcut? You know, margin. Shortcut is there. What is the first value? First value is always top and what is the next value? Right, very good. 80 pixels. What is the next value? Bottom. Bottom is always next value. Bottom 90 pixels. So finally, left. So this is going to be clockwise direction. If you can take a box, first top, next right, bottom, left. Clockwise direction. Remember this carefully. Clockwise. Clock will move right or left? Right side, na? Clock direction. That's what clock side. So the first value is always top. Upon top, you have to get the right value of that bottom value of that. Otherwise, you have any question, you write like this. This is going to be applied on top. This is going to be applied on right. This is going to be applied on bottom. This is going to be applied on left. You write like this also for more clarity. So I written TRBL, but you write top, right, bottom, left. Clearly write it. But you should have some space between every value. If there is no space, if I can mix everything, it doesn't work anything. Or don't mix it. Definitely there should be some space between every property. You write like this, or else you write like this also will work. Now, the fourth situation is a little different. I won't write shorthand. Can you tell me the expanded property for it? Okay, try to see this carefully. The fourth one. So for the fourth one, I'm writing shorthand margin 50 pixels, 80 pixels, 20 pixels. 3 only I didn't write 4. Then how this will apply? Any guesses? Anybody? Then tell me, what is margin top value? 50 pixels, very good. Margin right value?
Except the left remaining all.
Will it be 80, na? 80, very good. Margin right 80. What is margin bottom? What is margin bottom?
20, sir.
Margin bottom is 20 only. Then obviously, what is the next value? Margin left? Margin left is going to be
Default.
yeah, 80. Yes. You see the middle value, remember the middle value. If you have only 3 and the middle value specially applied on right, left. And the first value is obviously for top, last value obviously for bottom. And the middle value always applied on left and right. Remember this also, very important case this is. And this is maybe people will never ask you this question in interview. You are very clear. Maybe they will ask you this. And 80 will apply how? How the 80 is going to be applied, left, right, or top, bottom up. This is a question, maybe there. So, right. So you have to write this. Quickly write it if you want. If you're okay, take 1 minute of time and write it fast. Don't waste the time. I hope already you written this top. Next one. Next one, this is same copy paste for padding landing. Same copy paste for padding. No difference is there. So I will write it again. Don't worry. First write this. Quickly write it. Do it fast. So especially the last one is very important case. You can write this, especially how these values are applied. In interview, they will never ask you what is margin property. Okay, they will write this and they will ask you to explain. Can you explain this? How these margins are applied on a box? So you have to say 50 is on top, 80 is left, right, 20 is bottom. Most of the people have this confusion. But if you 4 values, they can understand clockwise direction, they can easily say. But if you have 2 values, first value top, bottom, next value left, right, or right, left, whatever it is going to be, right. So try to get it. But if you think that all 4 sides same value, write simply one value, all 4 sides. This is the top end, top, bottom, left, right. This is going to be all 4 sides, and this is going to be the middle value is very important. Middle value is always. So here also I won't write like this. This is going to be what and the left or right. Otherwise, let us take like this, L and R, the middle value. Exactly, the middle value we have to understand. Left or right, left and right, sorry. Not R, left and right. And this value is for what? Top only. This value for bottom. So if you can write these values under these properties, it will be very, very easy when you're referencing. And we don't want to read any manual. Does not required. Just to make a notes like this. By seeing that, you have to understand, oh, this value for top, this value for left and right, this value for bottom. This way you have to think it. Okay. So write this. I hope you done this. Now you can come for the padding. Can you tell me now? I am writing the shorthands. Can you tell me? So padding 20 pixels. What is the meaning of it? All sides. Very good. So this is going to be padding. P-A-D-D-I-N-G, padding top. Padding top 20. Obviously. What is this padding? Right. Padding bottom. And finally left. This will become like this. Okay. Now the same way, second case in the padding. What is the second case in the padding? Let me write the shorthand. If I write the shorthand, you have to tell this expanded property. So this time padding is going to be 10 pixels, 30 pixels, 50 pixels. Tell me now. What is padding top? Padding top 10 pixels. Very good. Padding bottom 50 pixels. Very good. Obviously, what is padding right and left? Padding left and
30, 30.
padding right.
30 pixels, 30 pixels.
Right? Exactly. So this is going to be 30 px and 30 px. Don't get confused. Same things are going to be applied here. 30 px and 30 px. Okay. Now, so one more case, if we can go here in the padding. So this is going to be padding, obviously 10 pixels, 20 pixel, 30 pixel, 40 pixels. What is the meaning of it? Top. What is top? 10. What is right? What is the bottom? What is this is going to be? What it? So I think you are clear with it. Right? If all the 4 sides different value, of course, now you can see the second case. What is the we did there? Padding 20 pixels, 40 pixels. What is the meaning of it? This is the top, bottom, and left, right. Got it? You got the idea, right? Let us work on the same thing. Let us create a small HTML. Let us try to works on something. Margin dot txt. Let us save this and let's go for the HTML document and let's create a small HTML document. Save the file with margin padding.html. Take any name, no problem. I'm just taking the file like this, margin padding.html. Let us remove this table. Everything I removed from the table. Right. Remove the CSS also. Right. CSS, margins, and patterns. Okay, now? Right. So let us go and check here. Can you see? Let us create a div or a section or anything you can take it. Let's take a class is equal to, I'm taking a class called block. I want to design this with some height width. How can I set the height width? And first do one thing, dot block. In this block, now I'm going to write some kind of height. Height is going to be 200 px height. Width is going to be 200 px height. 200 pixels height width. Let us set some background color if you want, or else you set some border. Border. What is the border, guys? Tell me. First, three values are there for the border: size, color, style. It could be anything, any order. Not only the order I discussed. The color, red color. This is going to be solid, and size is going to be 10 pixels. The order I reversed. Yesterday I written what 10 pixels solid color. Today I'm writing like this. Don't get confused. The order could be anything. If you can set the values like this now, up to here, just go to the browser, run the file, and check the output. Write one property, check the output. Write one property. This is the box we are getting with a border of 10 pixel. Okay, right. Very good. Now, can you see where is the box right now? Completely top left corner. Na? Do you have any gap between the walls? And a very light gap I'm able to see. Very light gap I'm able to see on the top bottom. Okay. Now, let us apply the property called margin 30 pixels. I'm applying. What is the meaning of 30 pixels? All four sides 30 pixels. Now you can go to the browser, just refresh it and observe it. What did you observe? Earlier, box is completely top left corner. Now it is moved somewhat. How do I know that is applied or not? Nothing. Simply right click on the box. Just right click on the box. Inspect it. Right. Can you see in the when you are mouse hovering on this div on the right side, we can see the div only. Can you see the div? Can you observe the box? If I can keep the mouse on the box, on the right side, I kept on the my mouse cursor. I kept on the div body. Whole screen selected. No? Whole screen selected. Now I'm moving my mouse to element. Hey, what did you observe? Tell me, please. There is a box. There is a box. Sky blue color. Border color. Above border, you have light orange color also. No? The light orange color represents margin. Okay, all four sides you see same orange color applied or different applied. Inside sky blue color is there, na? That is a original width. That is a original width of the element. Sky blue color represent border. The other thing is going to be border. Okay, you observe this carefully. Border above, border inside. Border is there, na? Border above, margin. Border inside, padding will apply. I will tell you that after some time. Okay, first let us work with the. There is a border on the box, na? Border above is always margin. Border inside always padding will apply. So that's all right. So practically you have to check this now. 20 I provided. Now you can see 30. Sorry, this is 30. Na? You can click here. If you can click and if you can press the up arrow, now you see value is incrementing and the element is also moving. Na? Now what is the diamond? What is the thing you provided? 100 I provided. Can you see orange color? What is the orange color? That is called margin. The representation you have to understand. This is called border and this is called height width and this is see when I'm keeping my mouse on the margin property, it is clearly showing that orange color. If I remove this, okay, this is actually thing. Okay, for practically you want to understand how margin applied, how border applied, how padding is applying. We have to understand, right? Okay, that's why I written like this. Now we can come here again. So now here I am writing 30 and 60. Tell me please now. Margin 30 pixels, margin 60 pixels. What is going to be happen now? Now let us refresh it. Top bottom 30 30. Left right 60. Now you can keep the mouse here. Can you see? Left side, right side, you see more orange color. Top bottom equally you are able to see. Left side equally. So how the space is applied. Otherwise, you write this is going to be here 60 I am taking and this is going to be 60 60. Then what is the meaning of 60 pixels, 60 pixels? top bottom same, left right same. Then why should I write 2 times like this? If you can just write semicolon, then if you think all 4 sides, write like this. Of course, even if you write, it will work. Even if you can write 60 pixel and 60 pixel also will work. This is also valid. What is the meaning of it? This value applied on top, this value applied on right and bottom and left. And if you think all the 4 sides same value, why should I write like this? Simply, you can write the value called 60 like this. And that is observation. While practicing, if I do like this, what happening? If I do like this, what happening? This is all you have to observe, you have to practice. No one will tell us, do like this, do like this. This is all our observation. While practicing, you have to get some thoughts. If I do like this, what happening? If I do like this, what will be happen? If you can think like this, that is a way of learning the subject. If I practice what I discussed, that is not the subject. That is not the subject. Okay, you may be good in theory only, not in practical. You have to think like this. If I provide 60, what happening? If I provide 30, what happening? Practically, you have to observe this. I'm taking 50. Then what is the meaning of it? 150. Top, bottom? Top, bottom. What is the top, bottom? 60. And left, right? 150. If you can refresh it, now can you see the box? And you can observe this carefully. What is the values we are able to see? Top, bottom, and left, right? Okay, now, so this way you have to observe while practicing these things, Andy. Okay, then only it will be easy to you to understand. Okay, now I won't write this way. Can you see this carefully? There is no margin. I'm not writing anything to margin. By default element is there. Okay, now you see margin top. I'm writing 70 pixels. Margin top 70 pixels. Refresh the page. Only top. Sometimes we don't need all. Only top need, right? Just only margin top. Sometimes you need only margin bottom. Then you write margin bottom. I think in the form handling in HTML forms, we written one property. Do you remember? What is the property I written? Anybody tell me? Margin bottom for every div I written. Do you remember that? I don't know how many of you remember this. If you can go to this HTML, in HTML we discussed the forms. In the forms, can you see? I written style is equal to margin bottom 10 pixel. Why we written margin bottom 10 pixel? Here I need only margin bottom only. I don't need top, bottom, left, right. Top and left, right, I don't need. I need only bottom. See, that is a requirement. So, sir, who will tell us, sir, margin 10 or bottom 10 or left and right 10? No one will tell you. While designing, you will get that idea automatically. If you feel, sir, this is congested, I want to provide some gap, top, bottom, left, right, and you have to decide how much gap you have to provide. No one will tell us, give 10, give 20. They won't tell us. This is the decision by you. We have to take this decision, how much I have to provide. Only top. Okay, only top is good to me. Now I'm able to see the only top. Okay, left also I need something. Then in this case, margin left, now you can see I'm writing, this is going to be 40 pixels margin left. Now you see top 70, margin left 40. Can we write these two in shorthand way? Only top left. How can I write this in shorthand? I don't want to write top and left. I want to write this in shorthanded way. How to write this? Nothing, very simple. What is the value? Come here now. Shorthand I am writing. Margin top value 70 pixels. Right value 0 pixels. Bottom value 0 pixels. Left value what we can write like this also. Okay, if you don't want this, we can write like this also. Shorthand top and bottom, top and left only you need. Right bottom you don't need means you can write like this. Can you see this carefully? How we can do this exactly? Now, if you can refresh the same, it will also work the same thing. Okay, so now you can see if you can minimize this also, if you can expand this, can you see? If you can expand this margin property, can you see how that is applied? What is margin top, margin right, margin bottom, margin left? So this is a way of observation. So if I write like this, and moreover, you see on the output also, top value, left value, orange color occupied na. Orange color means, orange color represents margin, right? Okay, check this carefully. Sky blue color. What is sky blue color? In the box, you have sky blue. That is a original diamond, original thing, original width and height, original space of the element, original space of the element. This is outside space. Inside space, original space is always represented by using sky blue color. And outside is going to be represented margin, outside margin, inside original space, actual space of the element. Okay, right. I hope you done this. Okay, na? Right. So this is how margins are applied. Can you write this also? Either one you can go, either this way, either this way. Sometimes you have to write this, then this, only two values. Then how to write this in shortcut window? This way also we can write. So this is all come by practice. Okay, na? Done. So if you are done with it, let us move for padding. Okay, let's move for padding. So for working with padding, okay, otherwise I'm creating a new file, create a new file. Here, guys, R cannot work. Just for your understanding, I written, okay, remove this, okay, just for our understanding, we written R. So you can comment this, anyone is okay, either bottom, either below. Same thing for padding. Let us save the file padding.html. So padding.html is a file. Later we will see more and more here. No worries about it, right? This is going to be same thing. Border, run this file. If you can run the file, there is a box with some gap. Open in default your. Why this is not saving? Open in default your disabled. Why this is disabled? Oh, HTML. File name is wrongly saved. Extension is .html. That's why it is not coming. Let us save as the file. No problem. Save as. Where is the option called save as? Extension should be .html, but unfortunately I type HML. Okay, no problem. Now, fine. So now you can go to the file and you can open in default viewer. Now, can you see this is the same box again? Now, for this time, inside the box, I won't write some title. I'm writing some title, CSS. Let me use some paragraph tag also. Take some paragraph tag with some help text. So how can I take some help text here? Go to Google. Press F1. Can I get some help text or somewhere? Oh, sorry. No worries. I'm copying this help text, whatever it may be, just for our, just to keep into the paragraph tag. This is the help text I kept. Okay, you run this file. What is the thing we applied it? No margin, no padding, just a height width border. Okay, height width. Now, can you go and check this now? If you can refresh and run this file, and this is the output, refresh the page. First refresh this. Now you people see this carefully. We have the following. Can you see the paragraph tag is congested inside the box, congested, there is no gap. And you see the CSS title also exactly attached on the left wall. And all the description also attached to look like attached to left side wall. And bottom also it look like attached. So the content inside the box look like congested, right? Can you see this carefully? Now, if I can write something called padding 20 pixels, what is going to be happen? I written padding 20 pixels. Come here, please try to observe this also. Right, I'm refreshing the page. If I refresh, what did you observe? You are getting gap. You are getting gap outside or inside? Outside is you're not. My box is still on top left. My box is on still on top left and right. Top left. Top left. But you are getting the gap. Where are you getting the gap? Outside or inside? Inside. Okay, you guys watch it carefully. Again, press F12. Observation is very important. Now, can you see? So this is whole body. Now, if I can keep mouse over, now you see color combination is different. 1 minute. Let's write some padding color red, border color red. You can take the green color, no problem. Green color is fine. And next one is going to be, let us write margin also. Margin 40 pixels I'm writing. Padding also 40 pixels. First you remove these both, otherwise we will come one by one. Refresh it carefully. Sorry, what happening, man? Something backslash type, right? Hit enter. This is actual box. Inside the box, you're applying padding 40. Observe, write the property, check the output. Don't write all the code and check the output. Write one property, go to the browser and check the output, right? So this is I'm checking. Padding applied inside the box, 40, more gap. Now, let us apply the margin, 40 pixels margin. If I apply 40 pixels margin, where it will go? If I can refresh. Margin applied outside, padding applied inside. Now come here on the right side, just mouse over. Can you see what are the colors you are able to observe? Orange color, light green color, and sky blue color. Sky blue is what? That is the original space. And you see the light green color always represents padding. Orange color always represents
Margin.
margin. At outside is margin. Inside, see, just there is a sky blue color above. You are able to see the space. Actually, original space is what? Sky blue color. Upon the sky blue color, what applied? Padding applied. Light green is nothing but padding. So remember, there is a border. Na? There is a border. Border above is what? Margin. Border inside what? Padding.
Padding.
Inside padding, you have the content. So the observation is also very important. Just by seeing this margin and padding, everybody will say this is margin, but observation is also very important. How this is going to be observed. So this is very important observation. Please check it carefully. Okay, right now let us go there. I written padding. Okay, margin leave it. 40 pixels padding, 80 pixels. What is the meaning of this only? Padding 40 and 80. Top bottom 40 and left right 80. Now only observe the padding inside the box. Can you see inside the box? What is increased and left right you observe, top bottom you observe. But right outside margin is 40 only. All four sides 40. But inside this box, border and border above margin, border inside padding. After padding only content. Yes, sir. How the see just above the content, what are we having? Content upon the content padding, upon the padding border, upon the border margin. So this is going to be come like this. Got it done? Right. This is observation is very, very important. Check this carefully. How this is getting applied here. Padding margin. Of course, now you can write this is going to be, I'm writing this is going to be 70 pixels. Now, can you tell me now how this is going to be work? Padding 40. Top 40, left right 80, bottom is going to be 70. Very good. So let's go and check this now how this is applied. Now this is if you can write it now. You can just check this. Observation is very important. Left right and bottom look like same. Why? Because 70 80 there is no much difference, right? If you can write 170, maybe you will see huge difference here. Maybe refresh the page. Can you see 170 bottom, top 40 left right 80. Observe this carefully. When you are doing this, this is how the things are going to be. Observation also very important. By just writing the property, you will never understand the CSS. How that is applying also we should understand. A lot of CSS properties are there. It is not easy to remember all the CSS properties if you can by heart. I need this. What is the property? I need that. What is the property? Practice like this, learn like this. 100% I'm sure you will get the subject. This is a way of learning CSS also. Way of learning CSS is this is by reading all the properties, you will never get the subject in the CSS. There are thousands of properties are there in CSS. Right?
Sorry, increase the size of our view now. We said the height and width now.
That's what we are talking now. We will talk this. Okay. All right. The next concept is that is only we will work on the same thing. Okay. Right. One very good question in the classroom. I will explain it to the class online people also. And please wait for a second. We will go for it. Okay. I hope you understand this, right? What is padding? What is margin? How padding applied? Only, for example, I need padding top only. How can I take the only padding top? Padding top only 30 pixels I'm taking. If you can refresh, only top, right? See, only top more gap. So if you want to write only bottom, padding bottom, then what is going to be happen now? Padding bottom and padding left. So this is going to be padding left, left left. This is going to be 30 pixels again. So now if you can refresh, what is going to be happen? At all four sides, same values I provided. Then can anybody tell me how to write this 3 in shorthand way?
Padding 30 pixels.
Okay.
And
Padding 30 pixels.
30 pixels.
30 pixels.
Right, it's right now 0 pixels.
Right, 0 pixels. Very good.
And 30.
30.
30 only pixels. Only 30.
Hmm.
First 30 is the top bottom now.
First 30 is not top bottom. So if you said just the 30, if you write the property like this will apply left right. This will apply only top, this will apply only bottom, right? That's why you have tried this also. As you said, 30 only. If the people are writing like this, how can we make this in a shorthanded way? Why should I write 3 properties unnecessary? You tell me, please. We have a shorthand way. Let us go for the shorthand way. If you write like this, how can we apply this in a shorthanded way? Think like this always. Definitely, the way of learning should be like this only. So, how this is applied. And you check the practically also, how this is going to be applied. So, if I write this and this, okay, for example, you see, I'm writing 130. I'm writing 130 or 310. Okay, 130. You can write 130. Now, you're writing padding top, bottom, left. You're writing shorthand. Which one will apply? This will apply or this will apply? I written both. 2 times I written padding top, bottom, left. 2 times I written, this is one way. This is the second time. But first time I written individually. Second time I'm writing shorthanded way. Which one will apply? Shorthand will apply or this will apply?
Shorthand apply, sir.
Okay. For example, somebody saying shorthand. I am writing the shorthand on top. Now which one will apply? Shorthand or second?
Short hand.
Always it's going to be line by line execution. Line by line execution. First, this try to apply it. And after that, you're writing again. Na, these properties are going to be override with these properties. You see, I will show you practically also. Now you see this, if you can refresh it 130, 130, but can you see here? Are you able to see this is applied? 130, 130 applied or 30, 30 applied? 30, 30 not applied. 130, 30 applied. So if 30, 30 means, can you see, this is 30, 30. Now 30, 30 applied. This is 30, 30 actually says. Because of this, what happening? The shorthand is override with this one. Now you expand this. If you can expand this, now you will understand. Can you see? These values are strike off. Na? Under the scenes, these values are got strike off. Right? They are overriding with the latest values. Otherwise, you write this at the bottom. If you can write at the bottom, then what is going to be happen to those values now? Now it will apply 30, 30. What happened? These values you see 130, 130 or overridden with these values. Okay, if you write the same property 2 times, first property override with the latest property. If anywhere, same thing for margin also, not only for this, any property you write 2 times, it will override. For example, you go for the border also, you see, second time I'm writing border, this time I'm writing this is going to be yellow border and solid 20 pixels I'm writing. Which one will apply? First border, second border? You can write 2 properties, no problem. There is no error, right? But if you write 2 times, first is override with the second one. Always remember this rule also. Sometimes by forgetting, may you write 2 times, but if you write 2 times, the same property will override with the latest property. Okay, now, right? This is the rule of the CSS by default. Any property, this is not only for margin, not only for something. So anything you're writing, they will be get overridden. Okay, now, right? This is how the margin padding will work. Okay, done. Now, I don't know how many of you observe this. One biggest problem is happening here. I don't know how many of you observed. What is the biggest problem? Let me create one more file. Let me show you the problem. Okay, right? Create a new file. Let me save a file with a name called box.html. Take any name, no problem. Take the file name is box. Okay, now can you see? I'm not writing anything. Okay, this is a nothing written. You remove the content also. Even if you can keep the content, no problem. But if you want to keep the paragraph only H1, yeah, you can keep the only H1. Of course, you want to keep the content also, you can keep the content, no problem. It's not the big deal. Whatever you want, you can keep here. So now I'm going to keep only one para here. Okay, that's all. Only just one line of the para. You run this file. If you can run this file, can you see? So this is the thing. We didn't set any height, any width. Let me set some height width. All of you see this carefully. So for the block, I'm setting height width. Please observe this carefully. I don't know how many of you observed previously. Now the observation is this is. So the height is going to be 400 pixels. Let's take 200 pixels only. And width is going to be 200 pixels. Width 200, height 200. Okay, now? Right. So can you go and check this now? If you can refresh it, content adjusted inside the 200 and 200. No border. Right click on here, inspect it. Can you see the original height? And if we can mouse over on the div, can you able to see on the left side screen, left side, sky blue color. Under the sky blue color, there is a small tooltip. You able to see? Div.block 200 by 200. Able to see, no? Can you able to see or not? I don't know how many of you able to see this. Let's make a little zoom. So what is the height and width? Under the sky blue color, just there is a div.block 200 by 200. Able to see, no?
Yes.
Div.block means there is a selector. And the block class which is assigned to div. And what are the dimensions of the div? 200 and 200. What is the dimensions I written on day? Here you see dimension 200, 200 I written now. So the same thing you are getting there, right? Can you able to see? Perfectly, you are getting 200 by 200. All of you? Right. Now you can go there. I'm writing one property called border 10 pixel. Watch it carefully. Solid red color semicolon. Okay, now let me refresh the page. If you can refresh, border added, border added, border added. If before that, what is the height and width? 200 by 200. Now border added. What is the border size? 10 pixel. Now what is the height and width of the element? It looked like it changed. If you can mouse over here, can you see guys here? If you can mouse over, now can you see what is the dimensions of the height and width? What it is? Okay, maybe I zoomed earlier, right? Okay, let us make normal screen only. If you can refresh, what is the height and width of the element? Can you observe? 220, 220 now. Why 220, 220? I set the height is 200 and 200 here manually I set na. Why the height is affected? So 220, 220. Why 220, 220? I didn't understand. Okay, let's go there. Let us apply one more property called margin. Please observe. Your observation is very, very important. It will give you a very good solution to you. So this is going to be 40 pixels margin. Now, if you can refresh, can you observe the screen? Is there any size in the box changed? The box size is not changed. And mouse over. And what is the size? 220 and 220. Still 220, 220. Okay, now very first 200 and 200. After adding 10 pixel border, 220, 220. I added 10 pixel only now. Why it should be 210 and 210, right? Why this is 220 and 220? Do you understand? I will tell you the calculation. I will tell you the calculation. Very good. Top, bottom. Now, if you can come here now, all of you observe this carefully. If I am writing the padding 40 pixels, padding will apply inside now. Can you observe? Observe the box size is increased in the box size increased. And now can you see what is the height and width of the box? 303. Why 300 and 300? I set manually 200 and 200. What is the height and see on the right side bottom in the style section, if you can see what is the height of the element, what is the width of the element? What is the height? What is the width? Original height, original width is 200. Now, but why this is showing me 300 and 300? Why height and width is changed automatically? I said 200 and 200, but now 100 pixels added extra to my box. So what is the problem? Why this is added 100 pixels and 100 pixels? And anything observation? You observe, right? What is happening? I set 100, 200 and 200 height width. Okay, earlier we seen properly. When I am adding border, it become 220, 220. When I am adding padding 30, padding 40, it become 300 and 300. Any guesses? Remember carefully. What this is generally called in CSS, we will call this as a box model. Box, there is a concept called box model in CSS. So for every element, if we can set any padding, okay, na? Remember, actual, what is the dimensions of the element only? 200. So let us write this is height of the element is what? 200, na? Right. Now, if we can come here, what is the width of the element? 200, 200 and 200. Here, if we can come, height 200. Right. What you written after that? You written some padding. Sorry, border you written. Border 10 pixels you written, right? Border 10 pixels means what? All four sides or only one side? All four sides. Then means what? Height means what? So this will add top border. Right, remember carefully. Top border. All of you see this carefully. Top border. What is the top border? Plus, and this is going to be bottom border. It is going to be bottom border. What is top border value? What is the bottom border value?
10.
Very good. So this is going to be 10. Obviously, this is going to be plus 200 and this is going to be plus 200. Finally, what is going to be happen? That's why it is becoming 220 earlier. Very first time. Okay. Now you are adding padding 40 pixels you are adding. Then how it will be applied? Tell me please, anybody? Now remember carefully. Border inside na, right? Obviously you have right padding top. Okay, na? Padding top plus. Now this is going to be padding bottom. So how this is going to be applied? This is the thing is happening there. Right? Tell me please. What is the value called? 10. 10 plus 40 plus. Obviously this is going to be 200 only. Plus this is going to be 40 plus this is going to be 10. So calculate all this sum. What are you getting here? If you can calculate everything, 300 you are getting, na? Same thing will apply for this also. But here for width, it is going to be left rights, not top bottom, right? Width is always left right only. Now you see, this is left border, padding, left padding, whatever it may be. Actual width is 200. This is going to be padding left, obviously. Sorry, padding right. This is padding right. Sorry, there also you have to make this is going to be padding right. This is going to be bottom, and this is bottom. So now this is going to obviously going to be bottom, right? Bottom right. RIGHT bottom right. Right. So now calculate this value. How this is going to be works here. So this is 10. 10 plus 40 plus 200. This is the original dimension. Next one is going to be 40. After that, this is going to be 10. If you can calculate everything, what is going to be happen? 300 again. Ah, okay. Right border something. Where it is? Last. Okay, right border. Perfect. This is going to be right border. We have to take like this. You understand the concept, right? But in this, margin applying, no, margin does not apply. Remember carefully, I observed in this situation, the height and width of the elements, the height and width of the elements are affected by borders and paddings. Borders and paddings. Not by the margin. Margin does not affect anything only. Okay. Na? So the what is the original height? 200. What is the original width? 200. But after some time of adding padding and padding, what is happening to my box? The dimensions of the box got completely changed. The box is increasing. No, sir. I don't want to affect my dimensions. My box size should be 200 and 200 only. The content should be inside the box only. I don't want to increase my box. If we can increase the box, I will get a lot of calculation problems in the real time. So you cannot get a perfect solution while creating the layouts. So definitely it is not possible. If you want to get a perfect solution, see, customer is asking 10 equal boxes, 200 and 200 in the total screen, side by side. Because of adding a border and padding, what happening? We are unable to display the 10 boxes in a row. We are able to display 8 boxes in row or 9 boxes in row or 7 boxes in row. But as per the customer requirement, we have to work now. Equally, we have to distribute the width. 425, 100, 25%, 25%, 25%. But because for this 25%, you are adding padding and border. 25% plus extra is more than 100%. Obviously, one element will come down. No. I don't want to do this. Right? Ultimately, if you don't want to allow dimensions affection with the help of padding and border, what we have to do? That's the solution. How can we avoid this? So by default, right, I think we written the same point again. By default, padding and borders will affects the dimensions of the element. Dimensions of an element, we can say like this. Elements, we can say, no problem. Dimensions of the elements. To avoid this, if we don't want to affect what we have to do? If we don't want affect the dimensions by padding and border, what we have to do? Right. So what we have to do, if you don't want to affect the dimensions of the element, by padding and border, what we have to do? We have to apply a property called, we have to apply a CSS property globally, not one element. Which property having, I don't know, in the content, for what property you're writing border, what property you're writing padding, I don't know. But I have to set this globally. So if you can set globally, for any property, write padding and border, no problem. So globally, I have set. What is the property? Global selector means what? Universal selector. This is the universal selector. Globally means what? Universal selector. That means what? For all the elements. What are all the elements you're adding padding and border? I don't want to affect the dimensions means you have to write like this on the top of this. This now onwards, whatever the CSS code you're writing, the first thing should be this is only. After that only you have to go for it. Right? What is the property called? Box sizing border box. Because of adding this property, the dimensions will never affected only. And one more thing, we have to write it only margin 0. Why should I write margin 0? Some of the block level elements are having default margin. Some of the block level, I told you already this in HTML. Some of the block elements are having default margin. I don't want any default margin. I won't set my own margin if required. Otherwise, you see, without this property, I'm telling you, you will never create a good layout, Sandy. There is no finishing in your layout also. It is not possible without this. I will explain it practical after some time, don't worry. So this is what exactly the concept of box modeling. What is the box modeling in the sense? By default, dimensions of an element are affected by the padding and border. If you don't want to affect them, so we have to add this property globally. In every CSS file, whatever the CSS you're writing, inline, internal, sorry, internal, external, first line should be this is now onwards. Okay, right, go to the file. Now you can go here. So before this, you have to add this property globally. You have to add this property globally. I think you already observed this, right? How this is working. So this is how, without this property, 1 minute. Let me save this file. Let me remove the property. Without this property, first observe this carefully. What is the dimension of the element? 300 and 300. What is the original dimensions I set here? 200, 200. Now add this property. Now preview the output. Now you can go there. If you can refresh it, box size is okay. Let us content is going out of it. It's not a big deal. Can you see this? What is the size of the box now? Under the box, can you observe the tooltip? 200 by 200. But still padding applied, border applied, and everything is applied. And I want to make the content inside of it only, even though there is a padding, even though there is a border, but it should be inside the box only. Then if you want to increase the size of the box, no problem. Content is going out of it and right, you can write the height auto. So if you can write height auto, maybe perfectly working. Height auto. Now you see, but you observe this carefully, how this padding is applying. All four sides padding applied, all four side border applied, and we will do like this. And this is a perfect solution. Now onwards, I don't know guys, what are you going to do? So in every CSS property, it should be like this only. Whatever you're writing, you want to start writing CSS, right? Write this as a first line. Box sizing, border box is a property. By adding this property, whatever the problem we have, what is the problem we are having? In interview, there is a question, right? What is the purpose of box sizing, border box? Why should I add this property? That too globally. Why should I add the property? Because of adding this property, dimensions of an element will never affected by the padding and border. Check this carefully. Interview question, they may ask you anyway, or box sizing, border box, or else they will ask you what is box model directly. Interview question, what is box model? Box model nothing but do you observe or not? If you can go at the bottom, can you see the box? This is a box model. What is the box model? Can you see padding? Where padding applied? This is original sky blue. This is what? Padding. And this is what? Border. This is what? Margin outside. This is what, how this is. See, earlier I have some calculations, right? Can you see? 40, 10, 40, and this is going to be 100 and something is there. No? Height auto, no? Okay, don't worry about the height auto. Can you see? This is going to be height we set auto. No, if you want to set the height fixed, not auto 200 only, or refresh the page, height is 200 only. Can you see the box model? What is the height width? 100 by 100. This is original. And what is this padding all four sides? 40. What is the border all four sides? Can you observe the four sides? And can you observe the margin all four sides? Margin is outside, padding is inside. In the middle of margin and padding, what is there? Border is there. Okay, you have to think this way, guys. Got it up? Right, chilo. This is what exactly the concept of box model in CSS. What is the problem you observed? I think very good observation from Muhammad. So he's find the observation. Anyhow, I have to tell you that observation. So this is what, while learning CSS, observation will play an important role. Write one property, check the output, write one property, check the output, write one property, check the output. Okay, let me tell you one more situation. Okay, I'm not writing this property. I'm not writing this property. Can you see this H1 tag? If you can write H1 tag is going to be, I'm writing hello world or something like this. I'm writing hello world. I write. Whatever it is, spell mistake is there. No worries about it. Now, can you see this carefully? This is the H1. Can you mouse over on the H1? You see mouse for the H1 tag top bottom. You see light sky blue color added. What is that? Is why added? Did you write any CSS? No, I didn't write any CSS. By default, some of the block elements are having default margin. Can you see here in the browser also? H1 tag, you see margin is what? 8 pixels. But this is for body only. This is for body. H1, if you can click and you see some of the things are added. Yes, sir. Right. These are what styles? User agent styles added by the browser, not by you, not by me. So to avoid that, sometimes browser will add the default styles to an element. Default styles to an element. I want to avoid those default styles. To avoid those default styles, we are adding the following property. What is the property again? Let us write the property. Same globally. You can write this is going to be box sizing sizing is going to be border box. Okay. And finally, margin 0 also you write it, no problem. So 0, 0, just 0. Pixels also not required, just 0. Now you see the H1 on the top. Now can keep the mouse on it. Now you see there is no orange color, only actual space of the element only available. So this is a good solution. Now onwards, I don't know what are the layouts you are going to create, what are the things you are practicing, you have to do like this. This is one of the option you should learn. Every time, any CSS from today to day end of the CSS, we will write the first property, box sizing, border box only. After that only, we will go for the CSS. For better calculations, especially when you are learning alignments, if you are not setting this property, we cannot get the alignments properly. Customer is asking per row, I need 4 blocks. Because without this property, you will never get 4 equal blocks. You will get only 3 only. 425 is 100, na? 425 is 100, if we set this. Otherwise, quickly, if you want me to show, I will show you. What is the width of the box? Height of the box. See, let us take the width of the box is going 25%. Width is going to be 25%. I am taking. So now this is going to be 25% width. Okay, na? Right. We added the property, na? Box sizing, border box. Right. Remove this margin also for a while. Remove the margin perfectly. Now you see exactly added. Like this, how many blocks I need? 4 blocks I need. Okay, 4 blocks I need. I'm not adding this property. I'm not adding this property. Like this, customer is asking 4 blocks. Okay. Now can you see if I can go and copy paste this 4 times? They have to become side by side, second, third, and fourth. I added 4 times. I added, but all 4s are coming one by one. But actually, customer is explain side by side. How to bring the content side by side? We have to write the property. Don't worry. Let's go for the CSS. Let me write one property to bring the item side by side. FLOAT, float left is a property. I'm adding the float left property. Now can you see? 425 is 100, na? Right? I'm expecting 425 is 100. But what is happening here? Because of this border and padding, this is not adjusted. Then I have to reduce the width to 20. I'm reducing the width to 20. Now they are 4. Oh, still they are not 4. Let us make this is going to be 18%. Now you can set this 18. No, customer is asking 425 only. You cannot reduce the width as your requirement. And as like you cannot reduce the requirement. It should be 25 only. So then what is the solution ultimately? So you can come here 25. You can add the property. What is the property? So this is the solution for you. This is what exactly box sizing. After adding this, we will check this SIZING box sizing. The property is going to be border hyphen box and margin 0. Just write this 0. And can you check the solution? Now, okay. Float left, width is 25 only, right? Without adding this, what is happening? So by default, this is working like this. No. I want to set this property. Can you go and refresh it? Now, if you can refresh, therefore 25 is 100, perfectly adjusted. This is what the solution for it actually. If you are not writing this, you will never get perfect calculations while creating the layouts. Customer is expecting 1. But you are saying that, sir, I tried 25, sir. If I write 25, 1 box is coming down, sir. That's why I reduced the width. You cannot say, you cannot convince the customer. What is the customer is saying that? As per that, we have to work here. Okay, na? Right. For everything, there is a solution. Patience is required. Be sit patiently and find the solution for it. Got it? Right. So this is all about right margins and paddings. I hope you're done with it. Done. So next one, shall we continue? Backgrounds, shall we continue today or tomorrow? I mean Monday. Monday, na? What do you say?
Monday, sir.
Let's continue Monday, no problem. Okay. Backgrounds and the property called fonts, color size, all text related property, typography simply says. Typography, backgrounds, and all these we will discuss on Monday session. No worries, no need to hurry. And we will go for on Monday, right? Text related property, typography, lot of things are there. Those we will continue on Monday. Monday definitely we will continue 1.5 hours. I mean, we have to finish all those. Okay, right.